Good afternoon, ladies and jelly beans. Actually, good morning. I just fooled that up. Good morning, ladies and jelly beans. Welcome to Mac 1202. I am your host, Mr. Moores, broadcasting all the way from the wonderful wide world web. World Wide Web. There you go. I fooled up twice. Anyway, this morning what we're going to look at is we're going to be working with SI measurements. Now, today is Wednesday. If all goes well, I will be back to work as of Friday. So hopefully I'll be back in at that time. We'll see how it goes. Now, what you need to do is get your notebooks, pens, pencils, paper, all that fun stuff, and get cracking. Now, here's what we're going to look at today: is working with SI measurements. When we do measurements with SI units, these are the creatures that are most common to us. Why? Because it's a universally adapted system for finding, say, distance, or say for finding perimeters, or for finding different creatures of that nature. What we have down the bottom here is we actually have three that are very important. And what are they? They are actually the three different units we're going to be working with in this section. Now, are there many more? Yes. But we're not going to look at those right now. So, let's look at some SI units of measure. Most importantly, the millimeter, mm for short, centimeter, cm for short, and meter, m for short. These are the most common ones, and these are the ones we're going to use in the next few sections. Now, what I got down here is conversion factors. You will need these down here in order to convert, say, from one creature to the other. Okay, so that one is important, this one is important, and this one is important. Here's what you need to know. We should know that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. How do we know that? We just do. The millimeter, out of these three up top, millimeter, centimeter, meter, millimeter is the smallest measure, but the width of your fingernail. Okay. Next up is a centimeter. We have 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Okay. How do we know that? We just do. Centimeter is about the distance across your pinky fingers, about 1 centimeter. Okay. And a meter is a fantastic creature. A meter is actually equal to 100 centimeters. Okay. It's also equal to 1,000 millimeters. Most commonly, something that's a meter long is almost, say, one of your stride lengths. Your stride length means, say, the distance you can walk comfortably is almost like a big step. Okay, so it's about a meter roughly. Now, conversion factors. Why did I call them conversion factors? Simply because if you're converting from centimeters to millimeters, you should remember this from last day. We want to convert centimeters to millimeters. What do? We're moving from here to here, so we had to multiply by 10. So say if we did a quick example, okay? Let's do a quick example. We're going to change 50 centimeters to millimeters, okay? Now, how many millimeters does this creature equal? Well, all we got to do is take the number of centimeters, 50. We know that in 1 centimeter there's 10 millimeters, so we just simply multiply 50 by 10, and you will get 500. And it's just that easy, boys and girlies. So let's do another one. When you go from, say, the left side, or the right side, sorry, back, you're going to divide. You're going to do the opposite. So let's change millimeters to, actually, let's do centimeters to meters, hey? Yes, just well. So we know that, let's change 561 centimeters to meters, okay? Now, how would you do a creature like this? Well, you'd say, well, by law, there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so we need to work backwards. So in this case, you're going to say 561 divided by, well, how many centimeters in 1 meter? 100. Do that on your handy dandy calculator. You will get 5.61. So, in 561 centimeters is equivalent or equal to 5.61 meters, okay? Now, you should have most of the drift by now. If you're going from centimeters to millimeters, or from meters to centimeters, or meters to millimeters, you multiply. If you're going millimeters to meters, or centimeters to meters, or millimeters to centimeters, you divide, okay? Simple as that. And that's all that you really have to know in order to do this next section. What I want you guys and girls to do now is to make sure you copy down these examples. I can call these examples. Okay. Then what I want you guys and girls to do is to go to page 72 in your books. Okay, page 72 in your textbooks. And what it is you're going to do is you guys and girls will go through, you will go through this creature right here. It says on the job part 1. What I want you to do is I want you to read through this section. You can read through it as a class if you want. Okay, it just looks at Mrs. She's acting as a tailor. She's acting as a tailor. Her job is being a tailor. And it says she's doing a bridesmaid dress for a friend or something. She's measuring SI units, so you'll see there how much ribbon does she need for the straps. So Janet adds the measurements, so you can work through that one, have a read through. Then it says down here, it says your turn, okay? Now, when you get to the your turn, all you got to do is say, add the SI lengths shown. What you're finding, ladies and gentlemen, is actually the perimeter, okay? And the perimeter is just a distance around an object. So really, you could think of these lines out here, this is like a fence, okay? All the way around this creature. How do you find the perimeter? You add this one, then 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 this one, excuse me, and finally, that one. So add them all together. Then it says for you to round the total to the nearest meter. When you round the total to the nearest meter, you take your total amount of centimeters that you found here, the distance around the perimeter, and divide it by 100, because you're changing centimeters to meters. Okay? Now, what do you do next? Well, what I want you guys and girls to do, you can try this little creature here. I like this one here. It says it's a puzzler. Copy the square onto grid paper. You don't need to copy it onto grid paper, but you can copy it down to excuse me, on your notebooks. And what you can do is you can measure the perimeter of the square when you make the square. Okay, measure the perimeter of the square using a ruler, and you can do that in centimeters or millimeters. It doesn't matter what you use. Okay, centimeters or millimeters. Then you can find the perimeter of the rectangle. Why are the perimeters different? You'll see very quickly why. I won't tell you why. Okay, just know that a square has 4 sides equal and a rectangle has opposite sides equal. That's all I'm going to say. So when you get this one, oh, and that's the phone. That's great. When you get this one done, boys and girls, here, what I want you guys and girls to do is I want you to work on pages, let's see, pages 74, and then I want you to work on page 75. You will need measuring tapes and a ruler for page, let me see, page 74. There are rulers up there in my shelf, okay? Rulers with millimeters and centimeters. Just look at the rulers there. You'll see the differences there. Excuse me, in the measurements. And also, you'll probably need a tape measure. Now, those are in the box there, and I think those are in centimeters. I'm pretty sure. So they will work as well. Then what I want you guys and girls to do is work through these. Do as many as you can. Like, of course, in number 4, you're not going to be able to do, say, the length of the hallway is going to be kind of hard. The width of a parking space, no, we don't have parking spaces. The length of a parking space, outcast of CD is out. Width of a bookshelf is fine. The width of a section of lockers is good. You may even be able to get a meter stick. Samuel, if you're there, which I'm sure you are, you can ask to see with Miss Webb if it's okay for you to check with Miss Powell Sellers. I'm sure she got meter sticks. Okay, just say you need it for a class, and if you get a meter stick, you can work together. You guys and girls are in a small enough crew that you guys and girls could do these together if you want. So you could get a ruler, and you could either, or meter stick if you can, and do the width of the hallway and the length of the hallway, of course. And that's up to Miss Webb and Mr. Kendall if he's there. Sorry, holy mac, I just had a moment. Must be the sleepless nights for the baby, I suppose. Anyway, boys and girlies, do pages 74 and 75. As I said, we're looking at transferring between SI units of measure and working with SI units of measure. Don't forget to go through page 73 or 72, 73, and you can go do that together as a class. Don't forget page 72, and I want you to do from 72 up to 73, 74, and 75, right? Yeah. Up to page 72 to 75. So, working with SI units, pretty much the same as working with imperial units, although SI units are a bit neater, and we use them pretty much every day. So have fun, boys and girlies, with this little lesson, and I hope to see you guys and girls very soon. Hopefully I will be back to work as of Friday. Take her easy. Later, Gators.